In this video, I would like to share my transcendental meditation experience while I was submerged in the bath this morning. Okay. Just gonna go right into these messages that a lot of the ETs would like to share with you guys, even the Men in Black would like to share with you guys. Firstly, I started energetically feeling the Men in Black when I started really connecting outside of this grid system, because the Men in Black, they facilitate, okay, alien, you could say ET interaction with humans, okay? They facilitate this sort of interaction we got going on with the ETs. Specifically, there is a lot of distortion, okay, going on at the planet right now, and they are very, the Men in Black are very, they're very cautious about ET interactions with Pacific races, okay? Because there are Pacific races of ET that have kind of created sort of, there's distortion going on in the planet, okay? They kind of created that. Either it's intentionally or not intentionally, and I feel like it was not intentionally, but somehow it distorted things and caused some sort of energetic confusion. It's hard to communicate, okay, verbally what I've received, because a lot of what I received is through telepathic, okay, and telepathic communication does not necessarily translate as well in a verbal communication, if that makes sense, okay? So a lot of things I'm going to be communicating to you guys is going to be watered down a lot, okay? But soon we'll have telepathic communication where I can just like telepathically send you this message and you get it, and then you get the exact of it, okay? Not watered down version of it. So, the Men in Black. I have a Men in Black member who is, his name is K25, and a lot of times I see him watching me, feeling him watching me, and observing me. And he is a different Men in Black. The Men in Black group that are, you could say, the elders, I like to say the elders because they're kind of the really old ones, very old, meaning they haven't, their body has been here, I guess. Their body fluctuates and changes, okay, but it doesn't necessarily die, okay? It just gets like an upgrade, and it's not a human body, okay? So it's nothing human. It's very much an alien body that just goes through kind of like a shedding of a snake. Almost like I can imagine them like in a cocoon or something, and their body's getting like an upgrade, okay? But they're very much celestial beings that have created this body, this ET body, that is very compatible with this world that we live in now, but the worlds in our past and our future as well. So because think of it, each world, I like to imagine a world, which is just like a collective consciousness that goes through a certain amount of generations, okay, generations. So that's like a world, okay? I like to say a conscious world, okay? And they have this body that can cross into these worlds, meaning they can cross into these consciousness that the world is, you know, the consciousness of humans is constantly evolving throughout the centuries, throughout a bunch of years, okay? And they see it as like barriers, okay? These amount of generations is this sort of world, okay, this age, and then these amount of generations is this world, this generation with this particular consciousness and limitations, programmings, okay? And they're different, okay? Because it's all like an evolving process. So they have mastered being able to have their physical body be in all of, like, almost like walking through it, almost like envision them walking through this timeline. You can see it as Earth timeline, okay, in this physical body through the many years, okay? And K25 and KG9. KG9 is more of a subtle energy. He observes me, but he kind of does it on a little bit of the side. K25 is very around me, okay? He has a lot to say. Well, KG9 is very much observing, because I feel like the Men in Black have not had communication with humans on a direct level like I have with K25. But you must remember that the elder Men in Black that are very, very telepathic, very sensitive, they can probably feel my conversation right now. You must remember that they cannot interact with humans because they have to change. Okay, again, this is kind of a watered down verbal version, but they have to change their you could say their vortex or their vibrational electromagnetic field that is around them in order to go into our world. And that is actually not healthy for them. It's not beneficial for them. It's actually very draining. Okay, it's like I don't know what analogy or metaphor would best fit for this, but it is kind of like stepping into a really heavy, okay, like a jumpsuit or something with it's super heavy. Okay, it's just draining, and they don't want to communicate telepathically from that level because the communication okay. Basically, what I was shown from another ET race is that there are beams, okay? Beams going everywhere, I'd say trillions of beams shooting up from the ground up, beams like this. Beams everywhere. And what happens is, the reason why ETs are not, you could say, materializing in this physical domain is because of the fact those beams that shoot up, almost imagine a spiraling DNA, spiraling DNA up. What's going on is, in that spiraling DNA, beams are shooting up into the sky, trillions and trillions and trillions of them all over the planet, is that when an alien materializes itself in this physical plane, that beams, okay, interferes with their electromagnetic field that is around their body, okay, that they are comprised of, okay, it alters them, okay, and that alteration can be very detrimental for them, okay, that's why they don't do that, okay, because they show me in these little beams that are sticking up from the ground all the way up to the sky with looks like spiraling DNA or something, there's programs inside of it. There's programs inside of it, and there's a lot, okay? I mean, it's a lot. I could be here all day talking about what is actually in that. But basically, those programmings is what is creating a lot of this confusion going on in the planet, because it is interfering with our electromagnetic field, okay? And it basically, it's keeping this kind of, I really don't know how to communicate this. It's very, very difficult to communicate this sort of this message that is very important. So what they do, and what they want me to communicate to you guys, is that if you want to communicate with the ETs, okay, I would recommend, the thing is, I would say call upon the Men in Black to help you facilitate this, but then again, the Men in Black do not really like human beings sending out telepathic communication to them, because a lot of that, a lot of people are not ready, okay, on a conscious level to really receive the information or even receive their presence, okay, around them, because energetically it can alter humans. Not only alters the Men in Black's electromagnetic field or energy, but it can also, them being around you, can also affect your electromagnetic field. And if you are not really, really open, and if you haven't really called upon saying, I would like to receive the wisdom of the universe, it would not be beneficial for you, okay? But for those of you guys who really would like to know the wisdom of the universe, okay, and are really open, you have to be very open to receive communication from the Men in Black, okay, and you also have to be very committed to a mission, because Men in Black are very committed to the mission, okay, they're very much committed to really helping the world. I'm hearing get out of this pattern. This pattern. They're really focused on that. So they're not focused on little small mundane things like your questions of like, I don't know, how does the universe work? They are very much focused on bigger things like mission, not on answering people's questions. ETs can answer your questions, but Men in Black, they're not about that. They're not about that, because it's just to communicate with a human, the density of the human, they have to kind of step down. You can see it as almost like dumbing themselves down to get to a certain level of distance where they can be able, you can receive their communication, okay, telepathic communication, of course, and they don't want to do that, okay, they don't want to do that. So if you really want to communicate with the Men in Black, you have to up yourself up, okay, and the best way to do that is what I was shown this a long time ago by K25, and it's submerge yourself in bath water. Like, I submerge myself where only my head, like this part of my face, is showing, okay? And then there I go into a deep, it's almost like a hypnotic sort of state, consciousness, a transcendental sort of meditation where it's really, really deep, like you're under hypnosis. And through that, my consciousness is elevated to a very high level where I can receive communication from, really, the Men in Black. But a lot of times K25's energy is around me a lot, okay, especially now because I have this consciousness that's very open, and I'm very focused on receiving wisdom from the universe, and I'm not really focused on mundane sort of things, because Men in Black have no care for mundane sort of questions of job and work and love life and all that kind of stuff. For people who really have this, you could say they have this kind of Gemini energy, because I feel like they have a lot of Gemini energy, which is really about knowledge and wisdom, okay. And it's also really about having, you could say it's kind of like magical abilities, okay, magical abilities to really be in this world, okay, in this world, but it's kind of like you've put yourself in a bubble. Okay, because like I said, there's all these beams going all over the world, trillions and trillions and trillions of them, that programs some limitations. If you let it alter your electromagnetic field, that's when you can start, you know, kind of just consciousness that is just the world, you know, the world, and just kind of what's going on, the confusion of the world. But when you kind of put yourself in this bubble, okay, put yourself in this bubble, this energetic bubble, okay, that is kind of like comprised of your aura, you can be able to have a clean, crisp energy, so then you can be able to really communicate, and they can communicate with you, okay, without any sort of distortion or alteration going on by the energy that it is all over the planet. So that is one message the ETs wanted to share with you about how to communicate, and it's best to communicate through the Men in Black, because while I was in my transcendental meditation and I was, you know, having all kinds of conversations, of course telepathic, and with the Men in Black and with this particular ET race, is I saw this other ET race come in, and they looks like a reptilian or something, sort of lizard looking, I don't know how to describe it. And I saw K25 there, and I saw KG9 there, and what happened is Men in Black, like I said, they are kind of, you could say, the third party involved with human communication with ETs, okay? They're very much watching that. They're watching every sort of interaction that's going on with human and ET, okay? Because like I said, they are really, really trying to be very careful with humans in that, especially with all the distortion, all the confusion and the propaganda going on and the distractions that are going on, that you have to have a clear consciousness, a clear, crisp consciousness to really be open to kind of receiving information, truth, okay? Because there's not a lot of truth going on around the planet energetically. It's distortions, illusions. So, but basically what happened is this reptilian race sort of came in and they wanted to communicate to me, okay? Because they could pick up on my energy and they wanted to communicate to me. And K25 was like, you are forbidden to communicate with her. You are forbidden. Because for various reasons, I don't know particularly, but I know that is because their sort of communication that they have for me would not be relevant for me. And also I felt like their communication with me, or their sort of vibration that these, I guess these groups, this group of reptilians are a part of, is not of truth, okay? And that could mean a lot of things, the word truth itself, but it was just not a truth, okay? It's more of, there is distortion in the universe, okay? Because if there's distortion on the planet, there's distortion in the universe as well. And that is what they really work on. They work on cleaning that up. But basically what I saw in my meditation, that is what I really want to share with you guys, is this ET race. They showed me is that there's groups of ETs that work, it's kind of like they have this embodiment of like a particular zodiac sign. Because I saw this ET race that were kind of short, like they went up to like my neck, you know, and I'm only like 5'5", and they had this big head and a little tiny body, like a little kid body, like an 8-year-old boy body, okay? And their head was like 3 times my head, and they kind of looked like children. They acted like children, very loving. Like I was hugging them a lot because they had this such loving, sweet little innocent energy about them, like just so innocent, like a child. And they were showing me is that they were the embodiment of the Gemini energy, and then they're showing me a lot of alien races have this embodiment of particular sign in the zodiac wheel. That is for a reason, okay? And they showed me the Pleiadians, because I went to Pleiades because I asked to go there, because I had this creativity inside of me, and I feel like it really corresponds with the creativity they have on their planet. And they were showing me that the Pleiadians have this embodiment of the Pisces in the zodiac sign, okay? And then they were just showing me another race that was more like a gray, so their bodies kind of looked more proportional with, you know, their head to their body. It was like an embodiment of the Aquarius energy. So I feel like based on of what frequency you want to tap into, because whenever you send out a wave or like I would like to receive wisdom from the universe, a lot of times you can send out a particular frequency, and this frequency is a lot of times corresponding with a zodiac sign, like the Taurus or the Gemini or the Libra or the Leo or the you know, or the Capricorn, okay? And based on that frequency that you send out, you get an alien race that is most, you could say that most resonates with that frequency that you send out, and therefore they respond, that alien race responds with frequency that's compatible with the frequency that you send out, okay? For me, I send out a lot of Gemini frequencies when I ask for, you know, when I'm tapping into the wisdom of the universe or the Sachic records of the universe, behind it is like a Gemini energy. Therefore, I get a Gemini sort of response from it, okay? And particularly this alien race that really works with me a lot. So, they told me about I asked about the twin flame theory, okay? And they show me the twin flame theory is meant to create an activation inside of people's hearts to really come together, not just with their twin flame, but it's something grander than that. It's something of like a soul family, because they show me of a pod of dolphins and how when we travel to this world or any world, we don't go alone, because they show me those little cute little aliens, the big heads, the little children. They were in a group and they go together. Like they always go together. It's not just one is by themselves and they go to that planet by themselves. You go to a planet with your pod, like a pod of dolphins, okay? You're not out of each other's sight. okay? Because as you expand, you could say more members are added to it. But the thing is, it's a part of your consciousness. As your consciousness expands, it's almost like a bigger bubble is becoming bigger, okay? Then there's more room, more space for individuals to materialize itself, okay? And I know this may be hard to kind of understand, but it's, as you expand, more members are added to your pod of dolphins, you can kind of say it like that. But the thing is, it's not people that just come from, you know, like, just kind of come on in. No, it's not. It's you. You are, it's like a part of, you've expanded so much that a part of you, the bubble, okay, the collective consciousness, just like each pod of dolphins has their own language, okay? You have your own sort of essence. It is extended from that essence, the core essence that's inside of you. You could say your soul family members, you all share the same heart, just like dolphins, a pod of dolphins all share the same language that's different from other pods of dolphins, okay? It's that's inside of you, it's this core essence. And then an analogy, and kind of they showed me to describe kind of oneness, and also oneness and that being transformed into an individual level, such as human bodies, okay? And to show that how we're all connected, is they showed me chopped salad, okay? Chopped salad. Actually, I came up with this myself as a way to communicate with you guys, because what they showed me was just the straight message, but I knew I couldn't communicate the straight message verbally. So I came up with this sort of idea, meditation about chopped salad, okay? Each time you make a chopped salad, you can make 5 chopped salads, okay? You have a bowl, you put in lettuce, you put in tomato, you put in cucumbers, or I don't know, all kinds of stuff. And when you chop it, you like chop it up, okay? And think about it. Everything is the same. The lettuce is the same. It's lettuce the same. But you put in these different bowls, and the way you chop it makes this uniqueness about it. Okay? It's almost like you take a rainbow. Okay? You take a rainbow and you just kind of, you mix it all together, and then you kind of spit it out. Mix it all together, you spit it out. Each of it's going to be different. But the thing is, the substance is still the same. It's just the configuration of it is unique. It's personalized. And that is where you get these core essences that we all have, that we all share with our pod of dolphins. Just like you look at dolphins, you see them as all the same. Okay, they're all the same. But the language that these pods of dolphins have is personalized, is unique. Okay? It doesn't make them different in, like, they're separate from one another. Like, this pod of dolphin is separate from this pod of dolphin. Like, they're different. You just see them as, in a kind of higher perspective, they are using their unique, you know, core essence is creating a creative identity based off of that. So that's kind of what, like, they show me. Like, we're all like little chopped salads. We all have the same thing. It's just the way we're kind of mixed together in a mixing bowl is what makes us, what makes the core essence, what makes your blueprint, okay, with your unique thing, okay? But the thing is, you share this with your soul family. So they're showing me, they kept showing me like a bridge from this world to the Golden Age world. And I feel like they like to call it something else besides the Golden Age world. But they know I like to say the Golden Age, so there's this bridge, almost like a rainbow bridge, like you can see in the Thor movie, in the Thor world with the rainbow bridge, okay? That leads to the end of the world and where the universe kind of, it spills over into the universe. Is that we have, they're showing me there's some sort of war going on right now. Not war that you think of violence and all that kind of stuff, fear and propaganda and all that kind of stuff. A war of the mind. We have fear. They show me fear is what we are at war at, okay? Because they were showing me about myself and my mission, okay, involving public speaking, of course. You know, my Gemini energy has this drive for public speaking, and they were showing me that there is particular things that need to happen, meaning energies that need to be surrounded by me as sort of protecting me, because of the fact there's fear in people, even people that say they're awakened, there's still this fear, and with fear causes irrational thing, causes, you know, they can become instantly just driven by it, consumed by it, and bam, they do things that are not good. Even, for example, if aliens were to come down to the world right now and show themselves to humans or whatnot, materialize themselves, do the great effort and materialize themselves, which I don't really see why they would want to do that, because that's like an effort. That's an effort right there if they materialize themselves in the physical. And they come across somebody that appears to be awakened, but then fear, they get so triggered by fear, because fear, I said, is a program that's all around. It affects your electromagnetic field if you're not in this bubble. If you're not in this bubble of your energy and projecting your aura out strong. You have to continue to project your aura out as strong. I'm strong, I'm strong, I'm strong, I'm strong. Because if you're not, fear will affect your electromagnetic field, and then it will kind of just alter your thinking, and then the way you think will incorporate fear, and then you'll be like that. So what happened, okay, is that guy would probably just go get a shotgun out and just start shooting at the thing, because when fear comes in, it's just when people allow to consume them, like take over, then we have irrational stuff like that happening, okay? So, and they also showed me is that Lemuria and Atlantis is not what we think in the past, like as it is like a past tense sort of thing. You know, the rise and the fall of Lemuria and Atlantis. It's actually something that is streaming simultaneous side by side with our timeline, okay? So they're like kind of streaming together, okay? They're streaming together. But the thing is, what happened with the Lemuria and Atlantis that really like, whoa, I like, what? Was that the aliens came in when the collective consciousness, the consciousness was not ready to receive them, okay? And the aliens really helped the people of that time. They helped build them up. They helped them, they worked with them, collaborated with them to help them build the world that they, you know, that they had of this high technology and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, when the aliens left, okay, when they were no longer still helping and they left, okay, I mean, they didn't truly leave, but they were letting the humans kind of take over. The humans were not consciously ready, okay, therefore they basically destroyed their own planet, and therefore the planet went through this period of needing to recharge its batteries, okay, after all of that stuff that just got out of hand with the technology and the misuse of it that is happening today, okay, the misuse of it, okay, the resources, they used the resources of an excess, and that led to the destruction of their planet, because you can't use anything of an excess, because the planet can't handle the density, the misusage of energy, it can't handle the misuses of energy. So what happens is the planet, it wants to shake it out. It wants to shake it out. Just like when your body, when there's a virus, your body fights it and it shakes it out. It wants to shake it out, basically, and then you get sick. Okay, and it's like your body recharging itself, recleansing itself. But when you're sick, it's like your body inside is like there's like a hell going on. That is what happened to the planet. There was a hell going on the planet, meaning there was waves and there was underground, you know, like volcanoes and all kinds of stuff, because the planet was really being shaken because it had a virus and it was trying to get rid of it. It was just not healthy for it. And that is what led to the fall of Atlantis and Lemuria, okay? But it was merely because of misusage of the energy. Energy is, you've got to understand the concept of energy to be able to really use it. And we don't even understand the concept of the energy right now. So we are not ready to receive direct communication from ETs on a massive level. Only on a very, really only, I would say, light workers can really receive that, okay? And you can see light workers as many things. It's just people who have come here with a clean, crisp sort of connection to, you could say, their highest form or their oversoul, that they're not altered by the electromagnetic energy, like I said, of those things going up into trillions of them that has all these programs. They're not affected by it. Yes, they're in this world, but it's like they have a bubble around them and they're not affected by those programs of the world, okay? They're not altered by it. Their consciousness is not altered by it, okay? They've got a clean consciousness, okay? But a lot of people, they don't have that right now. Their consciousness is sort of, you could say jaded. The word, it's not jaded, it's just more altered by the programs of fear and desperation and survival and all that kind of stuff. So when they're thinking, the underlining thought is fear or jealousy or survival or desperation or lack or I'm unworthy or I'm not good enough or those kind of things. Okay, but people that really see direct communication from the ETs don't have that sort of underlining sort of program. It's like they are true kind of connection to the consciousness of their oversoul, which is like their energy, their highest form of energy that is not just in this reality but in multiple realities at the same time. It projects itself into multiple realities simultaneously. That's why you don't need necessarily a guru to become wise. You just need to be able to have a consciousness that isn't altered by this world's limitations. Okay, it's like you need to create a portal where you can look through that portal and you can see infinity, and then you can realize, oh, I can tap into any wisdom I need. I can tap into that wisdom, I can tap into that. I can literally have the wisdom of the universe. You just have to be open to it. Okay, you have to not be conformed, or you can't be molded by the programmings of this world. Because remember, this is only one world, only one sort of set boundaries of limitations. Each dimension has its own unique limitations. Okay. But as we move into the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, those have their own sort of limitations. Okay. So basically with this video and about it's my experience is that when we cross that rainbow bridge into the other dimension, basically, again, with being at war, we're at war with fear because we cannot move into the golden age unless we have cleared up this energy. Remember, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It just has to be transmuted, okay, transformed. Okay, and a lot of energy of this we're not working with. We're not transforming it. So we have the energy of fear. Okay, we can't, you know, it can't be created nor destroyed. So we need to transmute it. We need to transmute it, and that's I'm transmuting fear into empowerment. That is what I do in my life. Okay, in the lives of the loved ones around me. I'm transmuting that into empowerment. Okay, and that is what fear will become in the golden age. It will be transmuted into empowerment. That energy, and that is what we are doing right now, and that's what needs to be done before we can have communication with the ETs, before we can step into that world, okay, that other world, okay, where we can have just, you know, the work system is going to completely change, the money system is going to completely change, the health system is going to completely change. There's no going to be such thing as medicating yourself. It's going to be all like natural, sort of, you could say home remedies. You kind of see it as home remedies, kind of like what the ancient Native Americans did as for health care. Okay. Even our international sort of relating to each other is going to change, even when it comes to international trade and whatnot. It's going to change. And when we really change, like really clean up our world energetically, meaning transmuting that energy into other energy, okay, changing it, then we will be ready to receive communication from the aliens. But a lot of us, we are praying for divine intervention because a lot of us are unhappy in our jobs. We're unhappy about our health care. We're unhappy about all of these things, okay, education, everything. And we're praying for divine intervention to change this world. We want change. That's why we look forward in our, you know, in our presidents. We want a president that can change our world. But the thing is, we need to stop looking for something outside of ourselves to change this world. The world will change once you change your mind about it. Once you start really opening yourself up and stop getting these distractions. Everything on the television, that's why I don't watch much television anymore, is a form of distraction. It's a watered down or dumbed down version, okay? Especially when you see it in the sort of the science sort of thing, okay? And science, for some reason, I feel like they say like they know a lot of things. If these people have PhDs, they say like, oh, they have these discoveries and they know something, and I just feel energetically it's nothing, you know, it's nothing, okay? Because we cannot get to this universal expansion level where we can really travel to other worlds, okay, where we can travel, you know, through even time, cross time, okay? Is, I feel with time though, you can't cross time like and change it. There's infinite numbers, so there's infinite possibilities, infinite realities that are probably streaming all together. Meaning there's probably like, I don't know, a trillion of me, like, that are same of me, having the same sort of moment, but sometimes there's something slightly different about it. But I can observe it, but I don't think I can alter it. But I feel like if I communicate with it, I can somehow change a slight difference, but not like when we think of time travel as we go there and we change the whole past or something like that. Because everything is streaming now. So if everything's streaming now, there's no such thing as a past. It's streaming now. Means you can alter the now moment, meaning the other possibility of reality, but it's not like I'm going to go, oh, change my past. Because it's not like that in the higher dimension of higher universal truth of all things. So, if we really want to step into this universal wisdom, we have to really transmute all fear and anxiety, frustration, irritation, all of that stuff out of our energetic field, and we have to become a consciousness, pure consciousness that is open, okay, before we can do that. But you see NASA, you see all the scientific communities, they're building stuff, it appears they're building stuff, but the thing is, they're building upon their limitations. And you can't do that. If you really want to travel outside of this grid into infinite possibility zone, you can't construct a rocket that is based off of this 3D template. You can't, because when you shoot that thing up into an infinite of reality, it's not going to function. So if we want to really create something that's about infinite possibilities, such as, you know, traveling through portals and going to other worlds, we have to get to that level consciously and build from that conscious point, okay? But you see scientists building from a very limited, like, they're trying to build something infinite out of this, like out of this sort of tools that only is comprised in here, only within this boundary or barrier, and it's just not going to work, okay? And I feel like that's what we're doing, and I feel like the aliens right now, and I feel like the aliens see us trying to build rockets and, you know, sending things all around the planet and in space and whatnot, and I think they're kind of like, you know, that's very, very good for your 3D template, okay? But if you really want to get going, you need to stop building from your 3D template of limitations. But that's not going to work. You can't just, you need to change your consciousness to do that. It's an alteration of your consciousness. So basically, the message is that right now we have these two worlds, and they also said that this golden age world, they said that they have to, it's almost like they're separating it from this sort of world of fear, and you could see that the dense world, because the world needs uplifting, elevation now. It needs it now, because the density is just too much. It's too much. And so we have this world that's kind of spinning within this world of fear, and this is the golden age. You could say they have it on Earth. This sort of frequency that's spinning with this really dense frequency, okay? They're kind of coexisting together, which is kind of interesting, but they have this barrier in between. Like I said, they show me a bridge, which is like the barrier between that world and this. It's basically just a frequency, okay? So a lot of people are stepping into this frequency, okay? And they need that. They need more people stepping into this frequency of the golden age, frequency of pure consciousness, because that is what's going to really elevate the planet, okay? But, again, they showed me so many things. And then they showed me the moon, the dark side of the moon. And there are ships waiting, ships, like I saw so many ships, okay, like so many ships, just all kind of organized and look like so many, and they're planning on coming to the planet, and maybe in our lifetime, my lifetime, I meaning, of 20, 30 years, 50 years, they're going to be coming to the planet. But first, because the planet really is on the verge of greatness, just needs, we as humans need to get our mind there first. We need to get our mind there first before we can go ahead and just, you know, start really stepping into our power on a building-wise, like building of Atlantis and Lemuria, because they're waiting for us to get to that point so they can then help us. Because before with Atlantis and Lemuria, they helped us before we were even consciously ready or receptive to receive the wisdom of the universe, because we still had a great amount of limitations in our mind. Alright, there was UK. We had a lot of blind spots in the mind because we had a lot of distractions, and we're seeing it again. Okay, so there's a cycle that is repeating itself on Earth. Okay, from Atlantis and Lemuria, it's repeating itself. It's showing in this dimensional reality as well, of repeating. Okay, and it's showing I can tap into the dimensional realities, like there's infinite numbers, therefore there are infinite realities, and what I'm seeing is this is playing out in infinite realities as well. Okay, so imagine like you see all these parallel realities, and maybe there's trillions of them, and it's playing out in those realities as well. This building yourself up, and then it destroy, okay? But the difference between us and the Atlantis Lemuria is that we are not having ET interference right now. Okay, that's the difference. That's the one thing that's kind of different, okay? While they had alien interaction. So that's the one thing that they really changed. One thing that AT's really changed, and we have collectively changed as well, is our no interactions with the ETs. Because I feel like we're meant to clean the energy, transmute the energy of that ourselves, okay? But a lot of people are praying for somebody else to do it, and it's not going to work like that. Or somebody to hold our hand. Because I feel like the more we become strong on our own, without this, you could say, divine intervention from the ETs, then we can actually become very strong, and with that strength, okay, we can be able to take the truth and the facts of our world is dying, sort of thing that happened in Atlantis and Lemuria when the planet was dying, but they didn't know what to do, so they didn't do anything about it because they didn't have the strength to look at the truth and the facts and do, okay, we need to do something. It takes strength to see something that's like, oh my gosh, and to change it. Okay, so we need the strength, and they're helping us to build our conscious muscles, kind of our brain power, our strength, before they come in. And there's other reality possibilities as well, okay? Even like I mentioned when I was like 18 or even 17 about how I saw in one reality the destruction of planet Earth, and then another reality I saw alien interference, and then another reality I saw this reality that's going on right now, okay? But it's just a pattern. We're trying to break the pattern, trying to free ourselves of this wheel that keeps turning in this the same sort of direction. It's just slight difference, but it always leads to the same sort of thing, okay? And that's why a lot of light workers are here. A lot of light workers that are an open channel. Really, they're like crown chakras, clear open, like a portal's on their crown chakra, and they can receive divine guidance, truth of this world, and our place in it, and what we're here to do. Those people are very mission driven. So I'm just going to see if there's anything else that I can remember from my transcendental meditation experience with the ETs, Men in Black, all the wisdom that they shared with me. Yeah, the key thing, as I said, that right now is about, it's reuniting with your soul pod, and that is what the twin flame theory is meant to really activate inside of people, to not just find this one person, but it's to find your soul pod. Because when you're finding your soul pod, you're finding extensions of your oversoul, and the extensions of your oversoul, the more you can kind of it helps to really, it helps you, it's like meeting yourself. It's like meeting yourself, and it also leads to a faster evolutionary rate inside of your essence. Because when you're stepping into meeting another individual that's part of your soul family, and meaning they have the same sort of oversoul as you, meaning it's just you're an oversoul just extended in these individual bodies, okay, you evolve much quicker together than just you by yourself meditating, okay? You evolve much quicker, and we need pods will walk across the rainbow bridge to the golden age together, okay? Because what has happened in Earth, you could say Earth's past or Earth's history, but it's really just things happening on different realities simultaneously as this reality is. We had groups of souls that come here to experience things together, and they wait for their extended versions of themselves to kind of finish wrapping up what they wanted to experience as lessons on this planet, and then they walk across the golden bridge or the rainbow bridge to other higher dimensional realities, okay? Because pods go together, and pods, they work together, meaning I can be a spirit guide to an extension of myself that is on this planet learning a particular lesson about, let's say, jealousy or something, okay? But the thing is, I feel like our oversouls never just kind of, oh, we're just gonna go to that planet and leave those people here, because it's an extension of yourself. So wherever yourself is going, those other versions of yourself are gonna go with you because you're an oversoul. But we don't think like that. We just see separate bodies. We see, oh, there's Sarah. She's my soul family. But you don't realize soul family. If you same sort of oversoul, you're like a bubble. You're one substance, one essence, one uniqueness out of the same substance that we're all made of, okay? Just like a solar system is made of the same substance other solar systems are made of, because they're made in the universe, okay? There just might be a slight variation or something like that, but, it's just, yeah, it's just, you go where your soul family goes. It's not like a go here and then I'm by myself type of thing, okay? You always have the extended versions of yourself. You could see it as variations of yourself in different bodies. They're just showing you variations of yourself, you know, because you're too infinite to just be like, this is me in this one body, okay? You are this unique individual. You are full and you are whole, okay? Just like a solar system sees itself as whole and full, okay? But other solar systems around it just give it variations of itself, and its capability, its possibility. That is what it's doing. So, I just wanted to share these divine given messages, and I also wanted to share that the reason why I really share messages for you guys and really share my, you know, my wisdom that I've gained through my traveling through time and space and interdimensional traveling, is because I am a part of the collective consciousness that is, you could say, futuristic, meaning my consciousness, it's like it's not from this, it's almost like it's not from this reality, okay? It's from another reality, but my body is existing in this reality for a reason. But my consciousness, it's almost like my consciousness is coming from, you could say, Earth of 2075 or something like that, or 2100 or 1250, or I don't know, something like that. And you could say a future that is just streaming right now. But variations, there's possibilities of that future, just like there's possibilities of this moment. Even what I say and how I do it and movements of my eye and face is different in those possibilities. But the reason my body's in this time period, but my consciousness is not, is because of the fact that there needs to be things placed into this world that can alter the patterns of this world that's happening right now, so that we get out of this wheel. And the only way to get out of this wheel is we have something that kind of can, again, energy's in there, created, destroyed, is transmuted. So I'm transmuting energy of this world by that particular consciousness that is, maybe you could say, old soul or ahead of time sort of ideas, because that is going to, in this reality, change some of things. So that's why I share with bravery, because I'm not altered by this templates of fear, judgment, oh, you can't do that, in, you know, like religion, ideology, culture that says you can only do these certain things, that, you know, science is this way, technology is this way, you can't do this unless you have a PhD or something like that. I'm not affected by that because of the fact I can see the truth, and I can see behind that sort of thinking is based upon their template, their third-dimensional sort of mind that has its third-dimensional limitations. Every, you know, has its own boundaries, and I can see that it may be correct and accurate, okay, for this dimensional reality. But when you get beyond it, I feel like it could really it could be considered truth anymore, okay? But everything that you science and, you know, things, you know, got up into space, the rockets, that is truth involving science and mathematics and technology in this dimensional reality with its limitations. But I feel like now, with the corporation of conscious thinking, we can be able to use mathematics and science, technology and physics to be able to use that, okay, break it down somehow, use it as like a platform to transmutate it into something, it's like a more evolved state of it. It's not like we're getting rid of it, we're just evolving it, and incorporating consciousness is the bridge that can bridge us to other dimensional, other conscious states that could help evolve it. Because you're taking, like, it's almost like creativity, and you're taking that and using that to change physics, mathematics, and science itself. Because if we really wanted to really use our full potential, we have to not just use third-dimensional reality limitations, we need to start incorporating other dimensional realities of consciousness and possibilities. Not just what we know in this dimensional reality. We need to incorporate almost like other, just get out of this boundaries and to like see a portal into infinicy of everything. I think that's when we can really step into creating something that is just beyond our wildest dreams involving this planet and science and technology and health and physics. Even what I imagined with Nikola Tesla, he had that down with infinicy of consciousness mind, but incorporating his third-dimensional limitational template as well. But I feel like we don't have too many minds that I can think of right now that are really doing that. But we have a lot of children that are coming up that have really got that sort of understanding of what they're here to do and how to go about doing it with their ideas that they have dreams of spaceships and stuff like that. You can't neglect or ignore this template. You have to use this template, but you have to also incorporate that other infinicy of possibility as well into it, which is a challenge for most people, that especially older people, I notice for some reason, the older generations, because they're very stuck in they've allowed the programmings to alter their electromagnetic field, so now they're completely molded into just the third-dimensional template person, and just their mind is just this template. So, just wanted to share that message. I know this video is long, but I had a lot to say, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye.